He and I, it's raining, it's sleety, gray afternoon. He pulls off to the highway about 8 exits before the Kmart we were heading to. And he pulls in this abandoned single-story strip mall. Broken glass, graffiti. We pull around back, there's dumpsters, hanging, fallen power lines, and there's a white van down there that flashes his lights at us as soon as we arrive. This is Chicago John. We pull up the car next to him, he leaves it running, he goes, stay here. He gets out, I look out the window, this little guy gets out of the van, he's in a black leather jacket.
Right. So, first of all, it is fair to say that, of course, the 1950s and 60s were different. We'd just come out of the war. So, but you have to consider all the different factors. So one was that factor, and the other factor that was the one I mentioned. So when Republicans or conservatives say, well, high taxes by definition will lead to slower growth, well, we know because of our experience in the 1950s and 60s that isn't true. Now, you can say there are other factors, but you can't say that the highest marginal tax rate being 70 or even 90% slows down growth, because it didn't. And it wasn't in Japan and Switzerland, it was right here.
You seem to be identifying a higher tax rate in the 1950s with higher level of growth. So if that's the case, why not just tax everybody at 100% and we can have massive growth from here to eternity?
When the middle class has more money, disposable income, they spend it. Why? Because they're not living in the lap of luxury. They're not saving it for their yacht. So they need to buy food for their family, they need education for their family, so they spend it and it goes back into the economy. If you just give it in supply side economics to the rich and hope that it trickles down on us eventually decades later, what they wind up doing with it is something that is logical. They save it. But that means it does not recirculate in the economy. And that is why when you have lower taxes, ironically, the economy does worse. But of course it's a balancing act.
Okay, so now you're making a strong case for Keynesian economics, which is totally fine, obviously. The problem with Keynesian economics is that it doesn't even work in theory, because again, once you go to the logical extreme, which is remove all of the money from the rich people who are saving all their money and give it to all the poor people to buy hamburgers, that doesn't help the economy or spur the economy. What spurs the economy is the creation of new products and services, and that is only going to be done by people who have expendable capital to actually invest in the new products and services that we all enjoy. This is what creates economic growth.
I love the love story in Steel Magnolias between all those women. I think it's beautiful. There's so many complex female relationships in that film between sisters and friends and mothers and daughters, and it's Southern. You know what? One movie that makes me cry is Norma Ray, and there's a scene where she's telling her children that people are going to say awful things about their mother. And it is such a moment of clear ferocity and the ferocity of motherhood, and wanting to be understood by her children and seen by her children.
When you step onto a film set, you have to relinquish all sense of control, I think. For me anyway, I feel like I have to surrender to the will of many other people, and you can try and hold on to doing what you want to do, but I think, you know, I think a choice, the choices that you make are your only real kind of brain freeze.
Your only real
choice?
No, I can't say choice again.
You did say choice several times.
I feel like we're in
Your only real weapon. Weapon?
Weapons
to aggress.
only real power?
We're going through an incredible technological revolution, evidently. That's what's kind of amazing. That's what I find inspiring right now, is that that's where our generation is.
See, I don't find that interesting at all.
I mean, I don't connect to it, but I can appreciate it.
Yeah, totally. You're
like
right.
the amazing advances.
I'm just not like excited about it. I can
No, I
be
wish
like,
I
wow,
was.
well done.
Yeah, because there's
A I suddenly had this feeling that everything was connected. It's like I could see the whole thing. One long chain of events that stretched all the way back before Lark Hill. I felt like I could see everything that had happened. And everything that was going to happen. It was like a perfect pattern laid out in front of me. And I realized that we were all part of it. And all trapped by it.
So do you know what's going to happen?
No. It was a feeling. But I can guess.